Welcome to our weekly Forex forecast. This is for trading for the week of July 5th to the 9th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your account.
All right, so as usual, we'll start off by looking at our calendar here. So this week, we have OPEC meetings still continuing. So with the OPEC meetings here, the important thing will be to see the production increases. If there are production increases, that will have a negative impact on the oil price. However, if the production quotas are kept the way they are, that would be a positive thing for oil. So generally oil goes up in over the summer. So this will be, again, it will continue that pattern. And we also have Reserve Bank of Australia here, a rate statement. So at this point, not really looking for an interest rate hike. However, with different central banks now talking about potential interest rate hikes next year. So if Reserve Bank of Australia comes and says that they're looking at, or they are have started thinking about an interest rate hike sometime in 2022 or 2023, that will be a positive thing for Australian dollar here, and we're likely to see it go up. We also have ZEW economic sentiment numbers here for Euro. These will be important as well. So with everything opening up, if the sentiment numbers are coming in positive, that's a good thing, and we're likely to see Euro go up. PMI numbers, very important numbers because they're leading indicators for our retail sales numbers. So if they come in higher than expected, that is good for US dollar here. And in terms of EU here, so on Wednesday, we have economic forecast numbers. So right now, economic forecasts, the sentiment numbers, these type of things, PMI numbers are very important because all of these things point to the economy recovering. So the focus will be on recovery. And if the forecasts are positive, then that's a positive sign. So that's the first thing. And then we'll look at the actual numbers. But for now, any sort of positive forecasts are likely to be positive for the currency. The Fed here, so with the FOMC, last time we did see quite a jump because of the Fed minutes, or Fed statement, I should say. So with this one here, not really expecting too much. If they hold their stance, which they're likely to do, in that case, it should not really have much of an impact on the US dollar. However, if they continue their comments in regards to economy recovering, they talk about inflation, or they talk about increasing interest rates, all of those things will be positive for the US dollar. So or changing the monetary policy, if they talk about tightening the monetary policy, that will also be positive for the US dollar. However, if they keep everything the same, they don't really comment too much on it, then we are looking for a neutral US dollar as a result of that. Right now, I'm not really expecting them to say anything that will have a negative impact on the US dollar. They're more likely to tighten the monetary policy than loosen it at this point. And on Wednesday, we also have RBA Governor Lau speaking. Now, if there's anything in the rate statement that points to potentially tightening the monetary policy, this one here will have a positive impact on the Australian dollar as a result as well. So generally, we'll see the statement first, and then we see the speech. So both of them can have an impact depending on what gets said in the first one. So second one will depend on that. And then we have ECB monetary policy meeting accounts, even though this is yellow at this point. So this is kind of like the Fed meeting minutes as well. ECB hasn't really talked about changing monetary policy or tightening things at this point. So I'm not expecting much of a change here. If they're going to make an announcement, it will most likely be when there is a conference call after the meeting minutes. So this one, I'm not expecting much of a change. And then we have unemployment numbers here, G20 meetings. With the G20 meetings, the main thing will be the comments that come out of the various leaders. So at this point, because we are recovering from COVID-19, the main focus again will be on the recovery, what the leaders talk about in that respect, and also the changing, although I wouldn't expect too much in terms of the tightening of monetary policy at this time. But if they do mention that, then that is positive for the currency and it's negative for the stock market. And then on Friday, we do have Bank of England, we have ECB, Bank of England. Again, the comments would be in regards to the tightening of the monetary policy that we are watching out for. And then employment numbers here for Canada. So we are looking for an addition of jobs. And if that's not the case, that will be negative for Canadian dollar here. So we'll keep an eye on that. And that is it in terms of the news. So let's go on to the charts now. We will start off with euro dollar. So with the euro, we did see that pullback, and now we are into the drop phase. With this here, we had a drop, a pullback, and looking for a continuation here to the downside. The question is, can it go through the support level? So right now the bias is slightly more to the downside here. So bearish bias. The concern will be the support level. If price does not go through 1.1820, we could see price become range bound here, something like this, and then it could even go back up again. Right now, we will just have to be patient here and watch if price can break through the support. So right now, bearish bias with caution though. Once we do see the price go through the support here, next target is 1.1720. So bearish bias with caution. Pound dollar here, this one as well, we had a drop, a pullback, and now price is struggling with the support level here. This was the original support level where it struggled with before. So right now, neutral to bearish bias. There are pins on both sides here, not as strong or doesn't have as much downward momentum as euro does. So this one is neutral. We could see this one become range bound here, and price could go sideways. So right now, neutral bias. We just need to wait and see how this sets up. Aussie dollar, same thing here. So with the US dollar overall, basically it's the US move here that we are looking at. With the US dollar move, it's struggling right now. It did have that downward momentum. It pushed through to the downside, but now it's struggling. All of them are struggling into support. So this one as well, we have a large pin on the bottom, which means it could go back into the high. And if it doesn't go through 0.7620, we are back into a sideways move essentially. So right now, neutral bias, neutral to bearish bias here for Aussie dollar as well. First target would be the bottom, 0.7470, and then we will look for price to move lower into 0.7370, but we'll have to keep an eye on these in our dailies. New Zealand dollar, this one also rejecting the support here. Price did come towards almost into the support, so it got stuck at 0.6950 level. So with this one here as well, same thing. Price is giving us a big pin in the bottom, which shows rejection. That means we're looking for a move back into the resistance here. And if it fails at 0.90, then we are back into the range, and this could become range bound here. So this is an important support resistance level coming all the way from our 2018 levels. Last time price was here, it struggled and bounced off. So we could see a similar move here as well. So neutral to bearish bias. There's still some bearishness in it, but not looking that strong right now. So neutral to bearish bias. And in terms of the downward target, we're looking at 0.6940. Dollar CAD here as well. So this same thing here, we see a big rejection here. Price went up, and now we were looking for this type of a move. It did try to go into the resistance, but has failed. So this large pin means we could see a drop here. And with this, if it goes through the support, we are back into through this immediate support at 1.2270. we are back into the final support here at 1.2050. So we have to watch out with this as well. Neutral to bearish bias here as well. I should say neutral here because we are likely to get sideways here. But if it drops through 1.2270, then we will target the next one. So this one as well, neutral right now. We need to watch it on the daily and see where it sets up. Euro pound here, Euro pound still going sideways. This one doesn't have any kind of clear direction. It's been range bound for a while. So right now we have a bit of a pin bar. So looking for price to go into the support here and something like this. So neutral bias here for Euro pound. And the range here is between 0.8640 and 0.8540. Euro Swiss franc here. This one looks bearish. We have a nice rejection here from the resistance, nice bearish pin bar. And we are looking for a move back into the support towards 1.0868. So bearish bias here. It's still trading within the range, but we are looking for price to test the bottom of the range. So bearish bias for Euro Swiss franc, and target is 1.0868. Pound Swiss franc, this one as well showing a rejection from the top of the range here. As we can see, price has struggled with that level many times. And we have two pin bars back to back, which means we're looking for a drop towards 1.2620. Bias here is bearish for pound Swiss franc as well. Dollar Swiss franc, this one is going sideways as well. So we have a similar move. Again, all of these related to US dollar here. Now, price did try to go or went into the resistance, tried to go through, failed. Now we have a large pin bar here, which means we could see a drop here. Target is 0.9140. If it goes through the support, then we are looking for that move to the downside, and this inefficient candle could get filled. So similar to this move here, price there was a big price move to the upside, and then it failed. So watch out for this, similar to our dollar CAD as well. So again, all of this is driven by the US dollar here. So neutral to bearish bias, 0.9140 is the first target, and then we'd be looking for a move towards 0.9075. Pound yen here, pound yen, same thing here, or not same thing, but similar. We see a big rejection. So we're looking for a move higher, 151.20, and then we could see price struggle. So right now, neutral to bullish bias. The problem would be right into this resistance at 154. If it fails to go through, it can still drop and come back down. So a lot of these, we need to wait for them to set up. They are in between right now. So US dollar trying to figure out what's going on. And with the so it's related to the equities as well. Yen here, responding to the equities. So we'll keep an eye on this. Neutral right now. I'm looking for a move back towards 154. If it goes through that, then we will target 155.20. Otherwise, it could become sideways here and come back towards 152.50. So we'll again monitor it on the daily. Euro yen here as well, same thing. We see price is just struggling, and it's just going sideways right now. There is bearishness in it, but there's also pin on top. So neutral to bearish bias here. I will look for a retest of 121.24. And if it fails, we are back into the range here. So neutral to bearish bias for Euro yen. Not too many great setups here this week. Everything seems to be just taking a breather here. And with dollar yen, again, neutral bias here, big rejection on the top. which means we could see price drop here. So at this point, it's not bearish, but it's showing signs of exhaustion. So we'll have to just wait for that thing for it to turn. But right now, neutral bias, and again, we could see a rejection. In that case, looking for a move back towards 110.50. Aussie yen, again, same thing here. As we can see, price is struggling at this point. So looking for sorry about that. My puppy's hanging out with me and somebody came to the door. So my apologies. Okay, so with this one, Aussie yen here, rejection in the bottom, which means we are likely to see a move towards 84.20. And then if it fails, we are back into this range here. So neutral bias here as well. The key levels here to watch would be 84.20. If it struggles, we are looking for a drop, but it's still looking sideways. So neutral bias for Aussie yen as well. New Zealand yen, same thing, price dropped and there was now we see a big rejection here, which means price could go higher towards 79. The concern again would be the resistance. So 78.50, if it fails to go through, then we're looking for a drop. So we need to wait here and watch out for 78.50. So right now looking at 78.50, if it goes through, then 79 and potentially higher as well. And again, we'll monitor it on the daily. CAD yen here, this one also showing a big rejection from the support level. So in this case, looking for price to go higher. Neutral to bullish bias here. Concern would be this 90.50 level. If it doesn't go through, we are back again. However, it is looking more bullish. So in this case, looking for a move towards 81.20. And price may just become a range bound in this big move. So right now, 91.20 is the target here for CAD yen as well, just with caution though. All right, let's take a look at our commodities, starting off with silver. As we can see, price is rejecting the support. So next level here is 27. And then above that, we're looking at 27.70 level. So twice price got rejected. So we're looking for a move higher as a result of that. So 27, watch out here at 27. Because this is what could happen. We could see a move into 27 and then bounce off of that. But for now, looking for a move higher. 27 is the first target for silver. For gold here as well, we can see price has rejected the support. We have some bullishness. It is struggling with resistance though, so that's important. And 1795, so next target here, we're looking at 18. So 1820 will be the next target. Again, watch out for the resistance at 1795. It could struggle here, but we could see a further move. So neutral to bullish bias here, 1820 is the target for gold. Oil here, oil still looking bullish, but it is showing some signs of exhaustion here, but still has bullishness. So next target here is 76.85 all the way into the high here from 2018. So bullish bias for oil with caution though. Watch out for the rejection. Copper still looking sideways here, hasn't really done much. This one here, completely neutral candle right now. It rejected both the resistance and support. So this is what I'm looking for, potential retest of 4.30. If it fails, moving back down towards 4.04. Bitcoin here. So the current price of Bitcoin is 34.5. Bitcoin hasn't really done a whole lot, going sideways here, struggling with the with this move here, or I should say 35,600, maybe the current one. So this is this is our range that price has been trading in. So in this case, this is what we are looking at. Okay, so neutral bias right now is trading between 36,500 and 31,000. So I'm looking for a range bound move here for Bitcoin. S&P 500 looking bullish here. Strong candle close for the week, so looking for a further move to the upside. 4350 was reached, so we're looking at 4400 and then above that 4450. So bullish bias here, still looking bullish. It held above the support level here, and now it looks like it wants to make the next move higher. So bullish bias for S&P 500. NASDAQ as well here, looking bullish. And this one strong close, so looking for a move higher here as well. So 15,000 is the next target here for our NASDAQ. And then Dow Jones here, Dow Jones is also looking bullish. It's coming into resistance though, so do watch out for that into 35,000. But target is bullish here for Dow Jones as well. DAX is going sideways. This is the daily chart. As we can see, price has been trading in this sideways range here. So neutral bias. If we take a look at the weekly, it is completely neutral. There are pins on both sides. So neutral bias here for DAX, looking for a move between 15,785 and 15,430. And then we have FTSE here, FTSE rejecting the support level, which means we're likely to see a move towards the high here, and 7,200 is the target, but then it may run into trouble at the top. So bullish, neutral to bullish bias here for for FTSE, and 7,200 is the target. Next one here, Nikkei. Nikkei is also caught in a sideways move at the moment. Not much going on with this one. I'm looking for a sideways move here as well. Slight bearish bias, but it's not too strong. So neutral, it's looking more neutral than bearish at this point. It's just been going back and forth for several weeks now. So looking for a move between 29,200 and 28,350. All right, so so there's a question. Let me see, what do we have? Could you speak about so-called after and non-farm payroll trading day? So non-farm payroll this week here, or previous week, I should say, we did have an unemployment rate. It went from 5.8% to 5.9%. But the problem is, markets were pricing in a rebound in jobs here. So not a whole lot. So basically, stock markets liked it because with jobs not going up like crazy, it puts pressure on the central bank to not increase interest rates. So they're not likely to tighten the monetary policy. When Fed came and said that they're going to tighten the monetary policy or increase the interest rate, at least with that was negative for the markets, the stock markets. Now, not with the jobs being kind of within the range of expectation, the pressure is not there. So central bank or Fed did say that, or in the Powell's testimony, he said that they're not really pushing towards that at this point. They do want the economy to recover and jobs to get back in line. So with the jobs not quite there, Unemployment rate went up slightly, but all of that is not positive for the US dollar, but is positive for the stock market, because which means the monetary policy will stay the way it is right now. So that's really what it is. Non-farm payrolls generally does have a, it's a market moving event, but at this point, I think the Fed is going to hold the monetary policy, and stock markets like that, it's not good for the US dollar. And that's why we have seen the US dollar drop. And, if that momentum sort of continues, we're likely to see this week, we're likely to see the stock market go up and US dollar may turn around. Like we saw, all the dollar crosses are just sideways right now. Didn't have the strong momentum. They bounced off of the resistance levels. So we could see a bit of actually, I should say dollar CAD bounced off the resistance level and other dollar crosses bounced off the support level. So we could see things turn around for US dollar this week. So we'll keep an eye on that. But that's basically what the non-farm payroll was this week. Didn't really do, or last week, it didn't really do a whole lot, but broke the momentum for the US dollar. I hope that helps. So we'll wrap it up here. You guys have a wonderful trading day or trading week, and I will be back with the daily analysis on Monday. Bye for now.